Your body knows how to be healthy. I'm your host, Martha Blessing, and this is the Place to Be Free podcast, a show that is passionately devoted to illuminating the potential within you to transform your health and life. We're shaking up and breaking up old paradigms so you can free up your mind and body, elevate your consciousness, and create profound well-being and a ridiculously happy and healthy life. On this show, we defy the norms and embrace a journey toward profound well-being and creating true freedom. We challenge patriarchal medicine, question fear-based culture, and dive deep into topics like quantum healing, energy medicine, mental science, consciousness, and universal spiritual laws. Whether you're here for solo explorations or the insightful interviews with individuals who've conquered fear and disease and broken through limitations, you're in for a transformative experience. If you're seeking empowerment, if you're ready for a life-changing shift, you're in the right place. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast. In this episode, I am addressing, are you ready to receive your desires? Are you really, truly ready to receive your desires? Why am I asking that question? Because so many people that I work with are not able to actually get clarity and speak for what it is that they really truly want. Well, why is this? You're living in pain, or it doesn't matter whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual health and well-being. They're all interconnected, right? And I see so many people who either have great, prosperity in their finances, but they have terrible health. Or they have good health, but they have terrible finances. And I've done both in my life, right? I've been at each end of the spectrum. But when you understand and you follow these universal spiritual laws, and I'll leave a link in the show notes to Raymond Hollywell's book, Working with the Laws. When you really truly understand these laws and you apply them in your life, the first step, it's one of the first of the 5 steps in my 5 steps to freedom in my work and in my courses and in the work that I do with clients. And so what is it? It's clarity, right? First time somebody asked me this question was actually in a workshop. I was in a 3-day weekend workshop. I was in an MLM at the time, and, I was in a hotel room in a seminar with 350 people. And the leader of this weekend workshop asked us to do a brainstorming exercise. And he asked if you had all the time and all the money in the world, 3 things you would be, 3 things you would have, and 3 things you would do. And I honestly have used this question in my life to guide me and direct me, right? Ever since that day. But in that day, many, many decades ago, I was so embarrassed, right? We're doing this exercise and people were writing feverishly. I was a complete blank. I was just literally sitting there like nobody had ever encouraged me my entire life to dream. I was told to perform, not to dream from a young age. And certainly there was no play in my life growing up. So all of a sudden I'm sitting in this workshop. It's like, wait, what? You mean I could actually have dreams? I didn't know how to answer it. My mind was a blank. Nobody had ever presented that for me, and I didn't even know what I wanted. And so, the things I realized that I did want after I left that workshop, I realized the things that I did want, that I did choose, I was told I couldn't have. I was told that it wasn't right. Going into journal as I'm going. At first I wanted to just stay and be a competitive figure skater, right? And go into the ice capades. And, I was told no, that wasn't okay. That wasn't good enough. It wasn't okay to follow my dream and follow my passion, which was still skating at the time. And so, fast forward to that workshop, and I wanted freedom. I knew I wanted something different, but I didn't know what it was. Well, the truth is that like everything that is for our purpose, for our success, we're sovereign. We are, created in the image and likeness of God, and God is the creator, not the God of religion and the man in the robe with the big gold G, but spiritual essence, divine intelligence, right? It's thinking substance. And so, what we put into that thinking substance, we're thinking substance as well. And that's how we create, right? And so, I didn't realize what the laws were. I didn't realize how the universe worked. And so it took me a few years, even after that workshop, to think about, what do I really want? And so now fast forward, right? Like I have clients that come into my programs, and we're 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks in, and they're still not able to clarify what it is they truly want. That's a lie. It's inside us. It's in us. We're born with it. God gave that desire to us. However, if we are filled with doubt, worry, shame, fear, grief, all of these things that we get from core wounds, from our programming, from indoctrination, we will not allow ourselves to feel into or intuit what it is we really truly desire. And the mind will go into this pattern of confusion and telling ourselves that we don't actually know what we want. But what's really happening is our conscious brain, which is always trying to keep us safe, and it typically only has one pattern that it recognizes. And so it keeps going back to that pattern. And that pattern is not freedom. That pattern is not health. It's not safety. It's not expansion. Forget about safety. It's not expansion. It actually is. I correct myself. It is about safety. But it's not about expansion. It doesn't want us to live the dream, to even think about what is possible outside of the current reality, because we created that reality from that same place. So I'm coming back to this question again. Are you really, truly ready to receive your desires? What are you getting out of staying where you are in a safety pattern? What are you getting out of not allowing yourself to feel, to be in your body and feel joy for something that it is that you want and that you want to create? Typically what happens is we have this nanosecond of a vision of a dream. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if? But then that's as far as it goes. We don't allow ourselves to come into the truth and reality that anything is possible. 100% possible 100% of the time. We live in a field of quantum energy that is influenced by our thoughts, influenced by our intention and attention. Right? What we put our attention on and our focus on expands. We know this. We know this from quantum physics, quantum science, and the double slit experiment. They did that experiment, and it proved that when we are giving our attention to something, we hold the waves of energy for that specific thing in the cosmos, in our reality. In the moment that we withdraw our attention from that thing, that part of the field, those waves, that energy, it collapses. So put it in the reverse order of, what are you experiencing right now? Are you experiencing health? Or are you experiencing anxiety and depression and digestive disorders? And what is it that you have focused on that makes it that the universe and God cannot receive, cannot send, you cannot receive the frequency of what it is that you desire? What are you holding inside? What are you putting out from that internal frequency? And so examine what your reality, current condition in reality is, because it's back to law of cause and effect. So this one gal that I've been working with privately, I mean, truly, seriously, like 8 weeks in, I'm repeatedly each week asking, have you gotten to your be-do haves? Have you gotten to what it is you desire? And the answer is still no. And she says, oh, I really don't know what I want. You do know what you want. You do know what you want. You just won't allow yourself to experience the feeling of it because it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel familiar. When we grow up in dysfunctional fight or flight conditions in our childhood. And so then the mind goes back into confusion, right? The mind goes into the, I can't have this, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm undeserving. And so week after week, we're going through the same process. Finally, there's a click. Finally, it hits. Oh, I'm blocking this. I'm not allowed to feel joy. I'm not allowed to feel joy. That's why we can't receive. Because if we allow ourselves to have everything that God wants us to be, do, and have, it's our birthright. If we allow that, then we have to drop the story about being unlovable, unworthy. It's a pattern. It's a story. It's an identity. We have to drop that. And so we won't allow ourselves to actually receive. We think in our minds, oh, here's what I want. If we can get to that place, what do I really, really want? If we can get to that place, that's the first step. And then after, what happens is the resistance of, I'm unworthy, I can't receive it. It's not okay for me to be happy and healthy and wealthy all at the same time. I used to have that. It was all related to the shame. It was all related to the roles, the beliefs, right? So take some time today to examine, are you ready to receive your desires? Are you ready to let go of the beliefs that are holding you back? Because that's what it is. It's not another modality. It's not another practitioner, so to speak, right? It's not, oh, I need EMDR instead of Reiki. It's not, acupuncture helped this, but now I need to go do that. It's not another functional medicine practitioner, right? If all of those things worked, if that was the reason why you are having the experience and the challenges and the disease that you are, it would be corrected. So dive a little deeper today and this week on asking, am I truly ready to receive what it is I desire? Am I truly ready to experience joy, to experience God and light and love and divine intelligence and my sovereignty moving through my body and my being in my life? Because if you're not experiencing what you desire and you feel like you've tried everything, I promise you, this is the final straw. This is the final solution to getting into alignment with the healing. Whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever your current reality and experience is. Check in with your body. Check in with the shame. Check in with the belief system so that you can allow yourself to exercise, number one, your dream muscles. What do you really, really want? Not what do you think is possible? What do you really, really want? The how is not up to you. The how is up to the universe to bring it. Your work is to get into the energy and frequency of receiving it, of allowing it to be your truth and reality. And that's going to take getting rid of the lies, the beliefs that you have held in your subconscious that are causing you to not be able to receive. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Thanks for joining me on another episode of the Place to Be Free podcast. If you found inspiration in our discussions on empowered living, mindset, and spiritual laws and healing, don't forget to subscribe and share the wisdom with your community. Connect with me on social media, and for exclusive content, free resources, and to stay updated on upcoming episodes, visit the website at marthablessing.com/free stuff. Until next time, remember, you're the author of your story. Keep breaking through barriers, defy old worn-out beliefs and patterns, and create a life without limitation. I'll see you in the next episode.